Okay, so we'll be starting this session in next 2 to 3 minutes. So I'm waiting so that everyone can join the class. Then we will be starting the session. Okay, just wait for 2 to 3 minutes. Then we will be starting. So if anyone has any kind of doubt regarding the previous lectures or something like that, so you may ask about that. Okay, so you people have already watched the lectures, which for this week 6 lectures, there were 4 lectures about the loops and the functions and the sequences also. So you people have watched them. Because I will be just like I will be just discussing about that what are the syntax about the like topics. Then I will be majorly today I will be discussing the questions, okay, regarding the concepts, because there were like we have the definition of loops, 3 kind of loops. Apart from that, we have the definition of our functions, and then we have that for sequence. So we have more or less kind of 4 to 5 topic, and so I'll be discussing there that how do we define, so whatever basically their syntax is. Then we will be discussing the questions regarding those concepts. So you people have already watched it. Then it will be easy for you to like follow. So how many of you have registered for this course? Like some of you have enrolled it, but some of the people who have registered for this course, like they are appearing for the examinations and they are expecting some certificate. Then how many people are there which are like who want to like get the certificate and who have registered for this course? Is there someone in this class? Okay, you registered. Okay. So when is your examination? You got some dates or something like that? In October. Okay. Okay. So in October you'll be having your examination. Okay, so I hope that you people have already like watched the lectures. So I will be starting this session. Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Himanshi Singh. I am currently pursuing my PhD from Department of Mathematics, IIT Jodhpur, in broad area of probability and statistics. So today we will be like having sixth live session. So 5 live session we have already like we have done. Now we will be proceeding towards the sixth live session. Sixth live session we are on it. Okay. Uh, these are the important links. So this is a Google Meet link, YouTube where I'm uploading the videos. This is a Google Drive link where you can find out the art scripts and the presentations. Okay, to follow the content in the class. Apart from that, so basically I will be discussing first the topics which has been covered in week 6. Okay, and then I will be demonstrate if there are any demonstration, then I will be demonstrating it in R, or if you have any doubt or something like that, I can do that in R. Okay, then we will be majorly today we will be majorly focusing upon the practice examples, because basically we have studied about the loops in the in week 6. So practice examples will be a more like good approach to understand these topics. Okay, then if you people have any doubt, then you may ask about, or then we'll discuss. Okay, So syntax will always be in blue. So that is the thing. Apart from that, here I've included this how to download our software, or how to download R. Here I've included that, and how to download RStudio. You may like use whichever you like. There is no issue. Okay, so just yeah. So first of all, we have studied about the for loop. So basically, why we are studying this loop. So basically, if you want to construct something, for example, when you are when you want to you have something in your mind, okay, which may not be there present in the like our software, or there is no built-in function for that. Then for those things, we basically use the loop, maybe for a certain part of that, the thing which we have in mind may be like useful, where we can use the loop basically. Okay, so so for example, we have this sum command. We all know that we have sum command. Okay, so if I want to, like, I have a vector and I want to sum all the values of that vector. Okay, so for example, I have this vector 237. This is a data vector. Okay, just give me a minute. Okay, so yeah, so I have a data vector 237 and I want to sum all the numbers. So I can just use this built-in function sum, and it will like sum of the numbers. Okay, but the thing is, if there is no built-in, so there will be a kind of process behind the creating of this function. So there will be a process by which this like behind there will be a coding or something involved by which we are getting such an output using this function. Okay, so in the process of constructing such kind of function, we basically use some tools, okay, by which we are able to construct this kind of functions. And there are many functions. This is just an example, and there are many functions which you want, which are not available in R, or by using these kind of tools like loop or functions and all those things, you can create such kind of functions. So that's why basically the loops are the for example, there are the building blocks, so by which you can create something new, uh, uh, which you are interested in. Okay, so we have three kind of loops. We have for loop, okay, we have while loop, we have repeat loop. Okay, so what is the basic difference between these three? So for loop, number of repetitions are like known in advance. Okay, so for example, we have this sum, and I want to sum all the elements in the vector. So for if I want to do anything, I know that I will have to run the loop for 3 times, or till the length of the vector times, whatever the length. So this is a 3 length vector. If I have a 6 length or 7 length or 8 length, so I know basically that if I want to run a loop, I have to run it for a fixed number of times. That may be length of that vector or any arbitrary vector. Okay, so for that, for loop can be useful. So basically, we like in before only we need know that how many repetitions are required in order to run that thing. Okay, so so basic difference is this. For loop, the syntax is this: for x in vector. So I'm taking a variable x. You can take any you can take I also in vector. So vector means I will be having some vector here. Okay, some list of values, some vector, something I will be having here, and I will be, so it will be a vector here. So x in vector, so for each value x will take a particular value. For example, I have a vector 237. X will first take value 2, then analyze something. Okay, so this in the curly bracket, this is commands to be executed. So whatever I want to do with the first element of this vector, I will be doing it in this curly bracket. Okay, so for every element, so for x in 2, for x to be 2, for x to be 3, for x to be 7, we will be doing something whatever is needed according to the question or according to our requirement. So this is basically the syntax. Okay, this will be more clear when we are doing the practice examples. Okay, now all the operations are executed for all the values of x in a vector. So whatever operation we are executing here, so it will be executed for each value of x in this vector or any other vector, whichever vector we want to specify. Okay, now apart from this, we can use the break command. So basically this command is used to stop the loop. So if you want to stop a loop somewhere, okay, there is any condition by which you want to stop that loop. So if that condition is satisfied, you want to stop it, so you will use this break command. Okay, and if you want to skip some entry of the vector, then you will use this next command. Okay, so if you want to skip something, you do not want to calculate something for a particular value or for a particular entry of a data vector, then you just want to skip it and move towards the next entry. So for that you can use this next. Okay, so this break and next, this is not necessarily be used for loop, it can be used for other ones also. However, the first three conditions, these are for loop. Okay, so the for loop is clear to you all. So we will be like doing more examples on this like on this for loop. It will be more clear then. Okay. Yeah. So then apart from this, we have while loop. So basically, if I do not know the number of repetition, okay, in advance, then we use basically the while loop. So there are conditions where we do not know that how many repetitions are required. Okay. So for example, if I want to print a number, I want to print some numbers from 1 to 100, those are divisible by 3. So okay, or you may take some more like a more complicated condition. So in that case, you may not be always be counting that how many numbers are there, and you are basically running it, or you are basically taking the for loop and you are counting the number that how many times I have to do that. So for such kind of conditions, we use basically this while loop. So for this, we do not have this specification for x in some vector or something that like that. We will be having some condition here. Okay, so while we will be having this some condition, so basically this, if this condition is no, so if this is fulfilled, okay, if this condition is fulfilled, then the command which is there in the curly bracket, that will be executed if this condition is true. Okay, so it will be executed repeatedly. So that will depend upon how we are defining the condition here. Okay, so in that case, this while loop is basically used. Okay, now so this is repeat loop. So for repeat loop, we do not test any condition. Okay, before entering the loop, we will not test any condition. There is no condition here. So direct we have repeat and we have commands to be executed. So it will basically repeat itself. Okay, here we will be specify that where we have to stop. Here we will specify in the commands, okay, in the curly bracket, but there will be no condition there with the there in the parenthesis, just like while loop, there will be no condition. Okay, so there is no condition before entering the loop, and the syntax is like repeat, and then direct we will use this commands to be executed. So whatever we want to execute, we'll write those commands here. Okay, so these are basic three kind of loop. So if we have for loop, so for loop we have that number of repetitions are known. So number of repetitions are known. Okay, now for while loop, they are not known. Okay, they are not known in advance. Okay, but it has condition. Okay, it has condition, and whenever that condition is true, the loop will execute at that times only. However, for repeat loop, we have no condition before entering the loop. Okay, so these are basic difference in these three kinds of loop. We will see examples for all of them, all of the three. Okay, so is there any confusion regarding it? Okay, so we'll move forward then. So so there is a concept of functions. So when we are basically in mathematics, if I say, so these are not just restricted to mathematics, we can also do some other things also. Algebraic, these are not restricted to only the algebraic kind of functions, we can create more kind of functions also. So I'm just giving example for an algebraic function. For example, I have this function y is equals to x square plus 2. Okay, just a function, just an for example, I have a polynomial of degree 2 if I consider this only. Okay, so now I want to create a function in R so that I can evaluate the value of this function at particular values of x. Okay, so what will be the syntax for that? So basically I have only one variable here. So y is basically a function. Okay, so this is a function. So I have to input this thing. So there is only one variable in it. Okay, so what I'll do, so I'll take y to be equals to function. So basically I'm constructing a function. That's why I'm taking that to be a function. So it will be same function only. What are the input variables? So here we have only one input variable x. If there are two, you may enter 2 here. Okay, and this is not restricted to a scalar only. So this is x square plus 2. So basically we are dealing with a scalar. So it may be a vector also in this input variable. Okay, so now here it is x. So it is basically a function of x. Okay, now in the curly bracket, we will write the expression. So what is the expression? So that is x square plus, so not this in R, basically we'll write x to the power of 2 plus 2. Okay, so this is basically, we have constructed this function. Now if I want to evaluate this function at some value, so for example for x is equals to 2, I want to evaluate it. So basically I will write y, and in the parenthesis I will write 2. So basically it will evaluate this function for 2, and the output will be, so it will be 4 plus 2, it will be 6. Okay, so this is basically if I have an algebraic expression, then I can construct this as a function in R, and I can evaluate that function at particular values. Okay, however, this is not even this is not limited to this only. We can create more kind of functions. Okay, I will be discussing those functions in the examples also. For example, if I have a vector and I want to find out the sum, which I have already discussed. So that for that also we can construct a function where the input variable, so basically it will be a vector. So I'm giving a vector, and that function will give me the sum of the elements of that vector. Okay, so that condition is also true. So it is not basically limited to these algebraic expressions only. Okay, so is it fine? Okay, so we'll move forward to sequences. So for example, if I want to construct a sequence of numbers, okay, so we already know that we have some commands like 1 to 100. So if I write this, it will give me a sequence of number 1 to up till 100. Okay, okay, we also have that we can enter like 1 2 and each expression up till 100. So these two things we already know. Okay, but apart from this, if I want to have, so for example, I want to have a condition, I want to print, or I want to create a like a sequence of number where I want to have a gap of, for example, 5 between two numbers. So basically what I want to take 1, then I want to take 6, then I want to take 11, and this kind of number, this kind of vector I want. Okay, 1 6 11, such kind of vector I want. Then in that case, if I'm manually entering these entry 1 6 11, so that will be very like it will be a very complicated task for me to do that. So for that, this sequence, we can use the sequence command. So basically what it will be having, so I will only have to give the, that from which number I want to start the sequence. Okay, till which number I want to go, and how much difference I want. So I can give that, then it will give me basically the basically the vector. Okay, a data vector. Also, if I also have a feature in this command, that if I know that from where I want to start to where I want to start, and I want to find out the equal spaced elements. For example, I want to print a number 1 to 10. Okay, from 1 to 10, I want to print those so 1 to 10, there are 10 numbers. Okay, but I want to print 5 numbers. Okay, I want, sorry, so I want to basically construct a data vector whose length is 5. Okay, and the numbers are equally spaced. So by which here you can see obviously that I will take the difference of 2. So for example, I take 1, I'll take 3, then I'll take 5, then I'll take 7, then I'll take 9. Okay, just Just give me a minute. It is not working. I don't know why. Yeah, it's working now. Sorry for the for this interruption. So basically, what I was saying that my voice is clear to you all. Is everything fine? Okay. Okay. So what I was saying basically that if I have a vector, so I want to print, I want to construct a vector, and I know that I want to construct a vector of length 5. Okay. And I have number from 1 to 10, and I want to construct a length vector of length 5, which are equally spaced numbers basically. So if I have 1 to 10 and I want to, so basically there are 10 numbers. Okay, but I want to construct a vector of 5 numbers which are equally spaced. So for that, what I'll do, so because there are 10 numbers, so I may be able to know that, okay, if I take 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, so it will be a vector of length 10, and the difference is 2, 2, 2. Okay. But for example, I have some number. So here, because I want to construct a vector of length 5, and 10 is a multiple of 5. So it is like numbers 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. But what if it is 11, then what will be those numbers basically? So at that I can construct a vector of length 5, and they are equally spaced. Because now the 11 is not a multiple for 5, so I cannot construct this kind of vector by manually. So I have to think about that. So for that kind of thing, there is a command. So here we can also specify. So for that, what I can use like sequence from, I can give like 1, okay, and 2 I can give 11. So from 1 to 11, I want to create a like sequence of numbers, and I can give length dot out is equals to 5. So this is basically a command. So this is basically a specification. So where I can give a specification that I want a vector of length 5. Okay, and it is basically giving me a vector of length 5, and the elements are equally spaced. So if I will do that, I'll get those numbers. So for 11 it is like difficult, so let me show that in R. Okay, so if what I will do, so so if I so here only I'll write. So I write that I want to create a sequence of numbers from 1, okay, to 10, and I want, or not 10, 11, and I want length dot out to be 5. Okay, basically I want a 5 elements in that vector. So if I do that, so it will give me 1, 3.5, 6, 8.5, 11. Okay, so if in place of this, if 10 was there, then it will be, if 10 was there in this place, if 10 was there, then it is giving me 1, 3.25, 5.50, 7.75, and 10. So actually what is happening, the thing is that it will take the first entry from this vector and the last entry also till, because I want till 10. So that's why it's taking the last entry to be 10. So basically it is dividing in between. That's why in this thing what I have given you. So there what I have done, I have taken 1 3 5 1 3 5 7 9. So here the thing is that first entry is 1 but last entry is not it is not 10. So that's why what is basically r is doing, so it is 1, last is 10. Now in between it will divide, it will give me in the equal spaced elements, so that the first and last entry is the first and last entry here. Okay, so that's why it is giving me a different answer here. So this is the correct one. Basically, first and last entry will be 1 to 11 and 1 to 10 here, and it will give me a vector, okay, of length 5, and the elements are equally spaced. So is it fine? This length dot out command, is it fine? No, it will not change. It will not change until, so it may change until some particular conditions. So if I give a command that just break the sequence. So for example, I'm constructing a sequence and I want to break a sequence whenever the 10 appears. So I want to break it. So then maybe there is a possibility that before 10 it will break. So apart from that, the entry will be same. So if you are using this command sequence from 1 to 10, so the first and last entry will be same. Yeah. Okay. So then, so this is basically I want to specify this length dot out thing. So by this, we can construct some sequences. Okay, and we can just we can we can play with these sequences and want to, like, if I want to construct a sequence and I want to print some kind of numbers. Okay, if I want to specify that which number I want to print, so using the loops also we can print certain types of numbers from the sequences. So by merging all those concepts, I will be discussing some practice questions now. So we just anyone, if anyone of you have any doubt, so then just please let me know. Otherwise I'll be starting the questions. Okay, so if there are no doubts, then we'll be moving forward for the questions. So basically, what is this first question? That I want to construct a sequence of numbers from 2 to 10. Okay, and print the square of even numbers using for loop. So basically, first of all, I want to construct a sequence. Yeah. Actually, for while loop, you need to have the condition, and if the condition is false, then it will stop. And if the condition is right, whenever the condition is true, the loop will execute. So if I, in the while loop, if I define a condition, for example, if I take while, okay, and I will define a condition, some condition, whatever. If that condition is false, okay, then the loop will not execute, it will stop. However, if the condition till until the condition is true, the loop will execute. Is it fine? Geometric progression, you want to do that? See, basically, what is the thing, that in this we only have that flexibility, that what we can use, we can just give r to be like a number which is the initial number and the final number, and I can give that how much increment I can do. I may not be able to square it. What is some function? So basically, you are Okay, let me take this. Okay, so sum function you are saying. So you are asking for the sum function, the inbuilt function in R. So if I can show it to you, like if I have a vector like x, okay, from 2 comma 3, just a length 2 vector, and I want to find out the sum of its entries, okay, then I can just use sum x, then it will sum the entries. So basically, if I have a vector and I want to sum all the entries of it, then the sum function will do that. Is it fine? Is it fine? Okay. So in the sequence, whatever you are asking, that geometric progression basically. So we only, so if I search for this, I can only have this flexibility that I can give it a number, initial value number, and I can give the final number. I can give how much length I require. Okay, I can give that that by what by what value I can do the increment or decrement. I can say, okay, if I give the negative value, then it will decrease the values by that quantity. So basically, we do not have that flexibility to do that uh, with actually this sequence function. But the thing is, if you want to do the if you want to print a GP, geometric progression, then you can obviously do it by like you can always do it by using this loop kind of thing. If you know the mechanism of the things, then you can do. Here also you may not be able to directly do it. So if you have a geometric progression, then the kind of numbers are there, then you may be not be able to directly do this by this sequence command, I think. Is it fine? Just give me a minute. Yeah, is it fine? Okay, so I'll move forward then, because there is no reply for that, whosoever has asked. So if your doubt is not clear, then you may ask it afterwards also. Okay, so I'll move forward towards the question now. So if there is some more doubts, then you may ask. Okay. Okay, so now what the question we have. So write a program to construct a sequence of numbers from 2 to 10 and print the square of even numbers using for loop. So first question is, we have to construct a sequence of numbers from 2 to 10. So just tell me the command which I can use for this. So just give I'm giving S, the name for the sequence. Okay, then what command should I give to print a sequence of numbers from 2 to 10? You people just write it in the chat box. Only about the first question. I'm not even asking for this print a square of even numbers or something like that. I'm just want I just want that you people just write the program to construct a sequence of numbers from 2 to 10. I want to construct a sequence of numbers from 2 to 10. Okay, you can directly write it. Okay, 2 to 10, you can directly write it. I just want that to from the using the sequence command. So basically this sequence. Okay, SEQ, I want it. So you can obviously write it like this also. That is correct. Okay, from 2 to 10. Okay, by default the increment will be 1 only. So it will print the number 2, 3, 4, 5 up till 10. Now the S is, now we have S to be a data vector which contains our entries 2, 3, 4, 5 up till 10. Okay. Now I want to print the square of even numbers using for loop. So I want to use a for loop and I want to print the square of even numbers. Okay. So for that, what I'll do, so first of all, I'll write a for loop. So for loop, I write for. Okay. Now I want the elements to be in this vector. This is S. Okay. So basically S is what? S is 2, 3 up till 10. Okay, so I'll take first entry. So for I in S. So what basically it means that I will first take the value 2, okay, then it will take the value 3, then it will take the value 4, then till 10. Okay. So this loop will run how many times? It will run from 2 to 10. How many times it will run? Okay, it will run 9 times for 2, then for 3, for 4, 5, 6 up to 10. Okay, what specification I will give, that I want to print the square of even number. So first of all, I want to check whether the number is square or not. Sorry, whether a number is even or not. So for that I will check. So I'll give the condition. So if, okay, that I basically, so I'm taking I in S. Okay, so if that I modulo 2 is equals to 0. So basically what I'm saying, that the number is even. So this is basically the command for checking the number is even or not. So whether it is divisible by 2 or not. So if this kind of thing is happening, so if that number is even, okay, so I want to print the square. Okay, print I to the power 2. Okay, is it fine? Yeah, you can write like this. That's also fine. You can write like this. I would just want to specify this sequence, that sequence command. So if you have some other specification with this sequence, that I want to construct a sequence with the like with a difference of 10, with a difference of 2, then you may specify it here. That may not be able to, that we may not be able to specify in your command basically. So if I had a sequence that I have to specify some, like it is with increment of 2, then I want to make the loop on those on that vector basically, then it is useful. So this will give you a little more flexibility, but for this case you can use that whatever you have like written. So I want to print I square. If this condition is true, then I want to print I square. Okay, so I'll just close it here, so you may just close it here. Okay, so this will be the format to write in R, so as to find out the square of the even numbers from a vector. Okay, I'll just show that in R also. So I have written this. So yeah, I have written this. S is a sequence from 2 to 10 I have created. Then for I in S, if that number is divisible by 2, print the square of that number. So if I do that, so it will basically square those numbers. So it is 2 square, that is 4. Okay, 4 square, that is 16. 6 square 36, 8 square 64, and 10 square 100. Okay, so is it fine? Is this question fine? Okay. Yeah, here I indicates the entry. So this will obviously be depending upon the way you want to do the things. Okay, you can do it in multiple ways. You can also do it by, if where I indicates the position, or where I indicates a simpler number, but here it is indicating the entry of the data vector. And it will be the loop will repeat itself how many times? The times the number of data, the number of entries that this data vector have. So it will repeat itself in those times. So it will check the condition for each entry, and it will print, if that condition is true, it will print the square of that number. If that condition is not true, then it will not print anything. Is it fine now? I can move forward now. Okay, so I'll move forward for the next question. So I want to write a program to create a vector of first 10 odd numbers using for loop. So why I'm writing always using for loops? Because there are many methods by which you can create it. Okay, you may be directly writing that C or something like that. But I want to like specify that you have to use this for loop in order to find out or create a vector which contains the first 10 odd numbers. Okay. So, anyone have any idea how to do this? If I want to print first 10 odd numbers, means first 10 odd numbers are what are the odd numbers? We have 1, then we have 3. So, what are the odd numbers? Basically, we have 1, then we have 3, then we have 5, then we have 7, 9, 11, 13, 40, sorry, not 14, 15, 17. Okay. 19. So these number I want to print, okay, using for loop. So anyone of you know the general formulation for this odd numbers? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you have directly written that vector. So first of all, I want to create a vector for first 10 odd numbers. Okay, so you have created only 5 odd numbers there, but I do not want you to just give me that vector. I want you to print those numbers using for loop. So I want you to do this. I want you to use for loop in order to print these numbers. So there is a little logic in it actually. So the thing is, if I have a even number basically, so it is of the form 2 asterisk some a, where a is any real number, not a real number, if a is any natural number. So if I'm having a to be any natural number, then for example, if I have a1, then this 2a is something, for example, b. If a is 1, then b is 2. If a is 2, then it is 4, then it is again even. So basically even number is the number which is basically a multiple of 2. Okay, so that's why this is an even number. But if I talk about the odd numbers, then it is of the formulation 2a plus 1 or minus 1 kind of thing. So basically it is saying that it is not a multiple of 2. It is we are adding a 1, or we can also say we are subtracting 1 when I'm saying that 2a is greater than 1. Then in that case, I'm saying that this kind of formulation is used for odd numbers. So they are basically not a multiple of 2. However, the even numbers are multiple of 2. So only this logic we will be using for this. Okay. So I want to create a vector of first 10 odd numbers. So first 10 odd numbers means I want to do this and I want to print the numbers. So for example, I will first of all take for I in 10. So for I in 1 to 10, for I in 1 to 10. Okay. So you are directly using this odd command. So is this odd uh, a built-in function there? So whatever you have written, I will write it here. Okay. So for I in 1 to 10, whatever you have written, I'm writing that thing only. So you are using O to be capital. I'm writing that to be capital only. So if I do that, so there is no kind of odd function there. So there is no built-in function in R for this odd. If I try it with the small o also, so we cannot do that actually. Okay. So the thing is, for odd, we do not have any kind of built-in function. So we have to apply our own logic, that how are the formulations for odd functions basically. So that is this kind of function. So if I write, so for I in 1 to 10, okay, I'll give a number to be like, so basically I want a vector. Okay, so I'll first of all create a vector odd here. Okay, I'm just naming this vector, and this is an empty vector. So if I want to create an empty vector, I'll just give it like this. So it will create a, just give me a minute. I'll just write it in a more cleaner way. So first of all, I'll create a vector which I'll create a vector odd, which is basically an empty vector. Okay, I want to fill in the values here. So I'm creating a empty vector. So this is an empty vector. Now what I'll do, I'll just run the loop for, because I want to print, or I want to create a vector of length 10. So I'm just wanting it, because my way of for example, the way I am executing my loop, for that it is necessary to consider I to be in 1 to 10. So 10 times I want to run it. Okay, then what I'm doing, so odd is basically a vector. So odd is equals to, okay, so first of all, wait a minute, just I'll just give a entry. Odd is equals to 2i uh, uh, 2 star I minus 1. Yeah, so it is 2. So why I'm constructing it to be, or this is a vector actually. So why I'm constructing this? Why? Because see, just I want to explain it. So for I in 1 to 10. So for example, I'm taking I to be in 1 to 10. So first of all, I will take value 1. So when I will take value 1, it will go inside the loop. So for I to be 1, odd 1. So means at first position of the data vector, I am entering something for I to be 1. So I'm entering for that position, that is 2i plus 1. So I is 1 in that case. So 2 into 1 it will be 2. 2 minus 1 it will give me 1. So basically at first place I'm entering 1. Okay, for example now, then if I take I to be 2, then or 2 means I'm entering something at second place of that data vector, and that in this I also there will be 2. So it will be 2. So 2 into 2, 4. 4 minus 1 will be 3. So similarly, it will happen for all the. So for I to be 10, I'm taking entry at 10th position. Okay. And at 10th position, what is the entry? 2 into 10, that is 20, minus 1, that is 19. So this kind of thing I'm doing here. So here I'm applying this logic, and I'm entering the entries in this data vector. And here I'm specifying the location of the data vectors by using this thing. So I in 1 to 10, and I want to create a vector of length 10. That's why I have taken I to be in 1 to 10. Odd I 2i minus 1. Okay. Then after that, I want to print it. So I will print odd. So odd is basically a vector now, vector of length 10. Here I have not specified anything. I have just taken odd to be an empty vector. Then I have filled in all the values in odd, and then I'm printing odd. So is it fine? Is this thing fine? Yeah. So basically we are using the logic of that, how in the, what is the formulation of basically of an odd number, and I'm using the for loop. So this way we will be using this in the. So what are you asking? It is tough. It is tough to understand. Okay, I just want to give you an example regarding this, because you are basically using a for loop, and how the for loop is basically behaving. If you want to create a vector, for example, if you want to create a vector of length 10, you want to enter. So just for sake of explanation, if I want, so if this is a vector 2, 3, 7. So this is a vector. You can just give this value, and this is a vector. Okay, fine. You have given this value directly. But if you want to give these value using for loop, for example, so the thing why I'm saying that do these basic things using for loop, because this will enhance your understanding regarding this loop basically. So if I want to create a vector, this kind of vector using for loop, so then for that what I will do, I will create an empty vector basically. First of all, because I do not know the values, I will just enter those values in a for loop. So I am taking an empty vector, then I'll take the loop. So because this is a vector of length 3, I want to construct a vector of length 3. So I will take for I in 1, 2, 3. Okay. Then I'll specify Now I know that this is a vector, and I know that x1 will be first position, x2 will be the second position of this vector, x3 will be the third position. At these position I want to give some entries. Okay, so I'll write xi to be, okay, I should have some a relationship between it. So xi to be, so when I is 1, okay, xi to be I want 2. Then if I is 2, I want xi to be 3. Okay, so first I will just do it like this. For example, if I have this like 2 3 7 I have, then for x1 it will give me the value 2. Then when for example I have this 2 2 2 only, because for that I have to define a different logic and it may confuse you. So for I have, for example, this 2 2 2 vector entry in the vector, and for I in 1 2 3 xi I am giving it to be 2. So this is the basically the last. Okay, you are doing it, and then you are basically print x. Now it will again print this kind of vector. So this is a way by which we can assign the value also using this loop. Okay, now if I have a 2 3 7, then I have to think about something, then I will be able to use. So the my main concern was to let you know that how we can use this for loop by, in order to give the give the value to each element of a data vector. Okay, so this way I'm with this kind of thing I'm also applying the logic for this odd numbers, and I'm doing that question. If you are not, it is tough for you, then you may wait for some time, then you may be able to understand in like in 2 to 3 days or in some weeks, because this may be a little difficult if you are like you have not done anything before, like any coding or something before it. So is it fine? Okay. Okay, so I'll move forward for now. So this is a question now. Write a program to find a factorial of a number using for loop. So how many of you know the what is factorial of a number? So what is factorial of a number? So anyone of like, do you know about this factorial of a number? So what do you mean by the factorial of a number? See, these questions are not very necessary. If you are not able to understand this, these are not like you have to do them or something like that. I'm just doing these questions in order to, like, you will be able to having a more comfort using this for loop. That's why I'm doing it. So no one of you knows about this factorial of a number. So if nobody of you knows, then I may skip with this question. No, actually, what you are saying, you are writing 5 multiply by 4 3 2 1 divided by something like that. So basically it is like if I am having a number 5 factorial, for example, I have this. So I will write like 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So this is basically the factorial of a number. So till that number, how many numbers are there which are greater than 0? Okay, 1 2 till the that number. We are finding out the product of those numbers. So if it is 6 factorial, we'll find out 1 2 3 4 up to 6, and we will product them. So this is basically the factorial of a number. So if I want to print a factorial of a number using for loop, then how I can do this? So first of all, I'll take an element. So first of all, what I have to do, I have to take 1, then I have to multiply it by 2, then again I have to multiply it by 3, then 2 4, then 5. So how many times the loop is running? The loop is running 1 2 3 4 5 times. Okay, so by this you will be able to understand that okay, I have to create a loop where there are 5 repetitions. So for example, if I have this, I will just assign a variable fact to be 1. This is a kind of variable. Then I'll just take for I in, so how many times I want? 5 times. Okay, so that's why I'm writing I 1 to 5. Okay, 5 times I want to run it. Okay, now factorial is already, fact is already 1. So what I'll do it here, fact is equals to, I'm assigning the value to fact, fact star I. Okay, okay, print fact. So, so what does this basically mean? That when this fact is 1 here, okay, I have this value 1. Okay, now for I in 1 to 15. So first of all, I will take the value 1, then it will go inside. So here fact, the new value of fact will be fact into I. Now I is 1, so it is 1 only. So for the first time it is 1 only. Okay, now again, now fact is 1. Now again, I is running for I to be 2. Then when I is 2, so now fact is 1 already. Now 1 into 2. So the now fact becomes 2. Okay, 1 into 2. Now the fact is at the second. So for the first one it is 1. For the second one the fact becomes 1 into 2. Now for the third time, now fact is 1 into 2. Now for the third time when it will go, I is 3. Now fact is already 1 star 2. So now I is 3. So it will be, now at the third time it will be 1 star 2 star 3. Then again it will run for 4, then again it will run for 5. So it will basically print the factorial. So are you able to understand this concept? So basically what is it happening here? We are just running it. So in place of this, for example, so why we have taken fact to be 1? Because at once, if I multiply anything by 1, it will be same, and that only we want. That's why we have initialized this fact by 1. If I would have taken fact to be this here, fact to be 2, then at first place only, it will, so not 2. For example, if I have taken 3, for example, in place of 2, it is working for this, it may not work for another, any other program, any other kind of logic. So if fact is for example 3, then at first place only the fact value will be, for I to be 1, the fact value will be 3. So it will start from 3. So that is a problem with it. So that's why whenever we are multiplying such kind of thing and storing a value, at that point of time we are taking that initial value to be 1, because we are multiplying and there is no effect of 1 on that multiplication. However, if I want to sum something, for example, I would have want to like sum these numbers, then in that case I should take sum to be 0, because here if I'm summing two things, then there is no effect of 0. So I will initialize that like sum with 0. Okay, because if that 0 is added to something, there is no effect. That's why I'm taking initializing this fact to be by 1. And if there is a some kind of logic which includes sum, then at that place, if I want to initialize my vector sum, then I will initialize it using 0, because there is no effect. So is it fine? So I will have a question for some also, then I'll explain it there. Okay. So is it fine? So I'll show this to you in R. Okay. And also one more thing, for this thing we also have this inbuilt function for this factorial. So that is factorial, and at the argument we can write like 5 if you want to find out. Then directly it will give you the output. The output will be same for both of the things. So I have done this for 6 in R. So yeah, I have done this for 16 hours. So I have given the variable I have taken to be n, and I've taken fact to be 1, and I have taken the loop from 1 to n. So I'm basically taking this number to be 6. That's why here I'm taking 1 to n. Fact is equals to fact into I, and I want to print fact. So let me run it. So it is giving me the value 720 in the console. And if I'm writing this built-in function here, this factorial 6, then in that case also I'm getting the same like output. Okay, so this is the built-in function for the factorial. Okay, like for sum we have the built-in function sum, for factorial also we have this built-in function factorial, but the methodology behind this factorial function is basically this only. Okay, by this methodology only we are able to construct a function factorial, and we have just saved it in R so that people can directly use it. But the thing or the logic behind that factorial thing is happening by this kind of methodology only. Okay, is it fine? If there are no doubts, and yeah, I will be moving forward for the next question. Okay, so if I want to find out the sum of the numbers, so for example, in the previous one, we have multiplied them, and now I want to find out the sum of the numbers from 1 to 100. Okay, so then what I will do, because first of all, I'll initialize my element sum. So I'm just taking this variable sum to be 0, I'll take. Okay, then for I in, now I want to take first 100 numbers, so that's why I'm taking 1 to 100. I want to run this for 100 of times. Now here I'll just give sum is equals to sum so yeah here. So I'll take sum to be sum is equals to sum plus I. Okay, sum plus I, then I'll print sum. Okay, so so what will be happening here? So first of all, sum is 0 because I want a neutral element, because if I add something to it, so there will be no effect of this number. So for I in 1 to 100, I want to run it from 1 to 100. Basically, if I have a vector 1 2 3 4 up till 100, and then I want to find out 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus this kind of thing. So I want to run it for I in 1 to 100. So when I is 1, so basically the loop will execute, and sum is equals to sum plus I. Now sum is what? Sum is 0. We have initialized it. So it will be 0 plus 1 for I to be 1. So now the sum value is becoming 1. So after the first execution, sum becomes 1. Now it will go again. So I will be 2 now. So now I will 2. So now I will come here. Now the sum is already 1. Okay. Now sum plus 2. So it will become, sum is already 1. So sum plus 2 will be 1 plus 2. Then at third time, now sum is 1 plus 2. So again the sum is 1 plus 2. At third time it will be 3. So it will be 1 plus 2 plus 3. Okay. Then it will be 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. Okay, so that's why this is the way by which this is executing, and we are able to find out the sum of first 100 numbers. So is it fine? Then I'm printing just the sum. Is it fine? Yeah. So I have also done it in R. So let me show you this. So it is giving me the sum. So it is very large, so you may not be able to like visualize. So let me just take first 5 numbers. So I'll just sum first 5 numbers. So it will be, you will be able to like know that whether the output is correct or not. So it is giving me 15. So if you sum initial 5 numbers, then it will give you 15. You can do it manually also, and it is giving me the same output. And same thing if I want to do for 100,000, 10,000, whichever I want, I can do using this kind of this loop. Okay, is it fine, everybody? Is there any doubt in this? If there is some doubt, then yeah, okay. So I'll move forward for the next one now. So now I want to count the number of elements that are greater than 20 in a vector. So if I have a data vector here like this, okay, and I want to count the number of elements which are greater than 20. Okay, so there are many numbers. So this is a very like a short data vector I have taken because you may be able to like visualize the things. That's why I have taken this. So I want to count the number of elements which are greater than 20 using for loop. Okay, so for this, first of all, I have to run the loop over these entries because I want to compare these entries in order to see that whether that number is greater than 20 or not. So basically the basic uh, uh, behind my mind there will be a thing like if I want to compare every number. So if I think about it, if I want to compare every number, I cannot compare the position of the numbers. I have to compare that simple number. Okay, and if I want to compare every number here, then I will just take that number in the loop. Then I'll just compare it with 20 and see whether that number is greater than 20 or not. Now, if that number is greater than 20, I want to count that it is 1. So for example, this for this 67 value, this number is greater than 20. So at my mind, I will say, okay, there is one number. Then 9, it is not greater than 20. So okay, I will not do anything. Then 34, it is greater than 20. Yes, it is greater than that. I am adding 1 to whatever I have thought of this here. For 67, it was 1. Then again I've counted, okay, there are two numbers now. Then 21, there are three numbers now. At 7, there is nothing. But at 45, it is again four numbers are there. So this thing I want to code it, okay, so that I can do the same analysis for a very long data vector also. So if I want to code that, then I'll just what I will just take. So this is, yeah. So I'll take again, I have to count the numbers. Okay. So I will just take so again, I'm counting means I'm adding the things. Okay. So when I'm adding the things, I will just take, first of all, again, I will take for initialize a variable count to be 0. Okay. Because in that number only I will count. Okay. Again. So for I in X. Now I in X means I'll take first the value 67, then the value 9, then the value 34, then 21, 7, 45, 5, 12, such kind of thing. What I want to do with that number. So for I in X, I want to compare whether the number is greater than 20 or not. So if that number is greater than 20, so I'll give the condition if I is greater than 20. Okay, what I want to do? I want to take 1. So basically, I will give count is equals to count plus 1. Okay, why I am doing this? So for example, if you have this command, then what you will think, first of all, what I'm doing, count is 0 here. Okay, so count value is 0. Then you are going for I in X. So for when I is, for example, for I in X, so first of all, I is 67. So yeah, I is 67. It is going inside the loop. I is 67. Yes, the condition is true. 67 is greater than 20. So now it will display count is equals to count plus 1. So count, what count was? Count was 0. So now count becomes 1. So after the first step, the count became 1. Now again it will go. So for I in X means first is done. Now I in X means 9. So I is 9 now. Now is 9 greater than 20? No. So it will not execute count. Now again count is 1 only. Again it will go I in X. So I is 34 now. So 34 is 34 greater than 20? Yes, 34 greater than 30. So it will give you count is equals to count plus 1. Now count is already 1 here. So now count will become, so at the third, so at the second one, count is again 1 only. Okay, but at third time, count became 2 because again this condition is true again for the third time. Now at the fourth time, 21. So it is 21. Now again 21 is greater than 2. Count is already 2 now. So it is again 2 plus 1. So it will give me at the fourth one, it will give count to be 3. So similarly, it will work up till 8 and then it will display that what is the final value of count. Okay. So is it, you are able to understand how do we count the value basically using these loops? Okay, then you can print the count. Then it will tell you print count. Is it fine? See, just take these example as learnings. Don't think like you should know these things. Okay, if you are not able to, like if you do not know these things previously, then take these things like learnings, because if you want to count something, then how the loop will be executed, then you are able to find the counting basically. Okay, if there is some other condition also and you know how to count, then you maybe find just replacing this condition by that other condition and you can do the same thing. Okay, and if you want to find out the sum, if you want to find out the product, then the similar kind of things you may do. Okay, for that you can consider these three questions as learnings. Okay, and just do other things if there are so many. Then you can just do the same methodology for those questions. Okay. Now let me just do this in R. So for question 5, I've taken this vector. So let me see first of all how many values are there which are greater than 20. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, there are 4 values. So I'll just, so yeah, it is coming out to be 4. So it is giving me the right output. Okay, so now we have discussed these 5 questions for loop. Then I'll be moving forward for the while loop. Okay. So now we have also studied this next and next command and this break command. So I maybe will be using this next and break command here for this kind of loop. Okay. So the question is write a program to print the numbers from 1 to 20. So basically I want to print numbers from 1 to 20, but I want to skip the multiples of 3. So basically I will skip the entries where there's a multiple of 3, and I want to do all these things using while loop. So first of all, I want to print the numbers using while loop and I want to skip the multiples of 3. So basically, let me show you first of all that we have 1 to 20 numbers of 1, 2, 3, 4 up till 20. Then I want to skip the multiples of 3, the multiples of 3. Okay, so basically if I want to know that whether a number is a multiple of 3 or not, so I'll just see that whether x the modulo 3 is 0 or not. So if this happens, means it is a multiple of 3, and if this does not happen, then it is not a multiple of 3. Okay, so this is basically the logic in order to see that whether a number is a multiple of 3 or not. So we can identify using this logic. Now I want to first of all print numbers from I to I from 1 to 20. Now if it were a for loop, then for that I can just give for I in 1 to 20, but I want to do it using the while loop. Then for while loop, I will not know, I will not be able to specify that where the I in, like for which vector I is in that vector. Okay, so I do not have that flexibility for this while loop. So not I cannot say the flexibility. I do not have that option for that in while loop. So using this while loop, how I can do that? So first of all, I'll just start. I want to start it using this. So I want to start it from 1. So that's why I'll take I to be 1 here. Okay. Then while loop is basically repeat itself. So I'll write while. Okay. Then in while I have to give a condition. Okay. Is it fine? Is it fine? Okay, so basically what is there? So I want to write a program and I want to print numbers from 1 to 20. Okay, so first of all, I'll give, because I cannot specify I to be in 1 to 20 using the while loop. So I'll start it using I to be 1. Okay, now till when I want to go? I want to go up till 20. Okay, so I'll write it while I less than is equals to 20. Okay, so basically what it will do, so whenever this condition is true, the loop will execute. So basically when I is 1, so basically I is less than or equals to 20, the loop will run. Then what I have to do, I have to change the value of I, so that I will be executing in the command. So basically it is telling me that this condition is telling me that the loop will run until and unless the value of I is less than or equals to 20. If that condition is false, the loop will stop. Okay. Now what I will write in the body basically, so what I want to do, basically I want to skip the numbers which are multiple of 3. So I can skip the numbers using the next command. So what I will do, I'll do if x, not x, I have taken. So if I modulo 3 is equals to 0. So if this is means a number is a multiple of 3, so in that case I will basically I want to go next. I is equals to I plus 1. Now why I am doing this, I will tell you. And here I will do next. So next is basically we are using, because here it is a multiple of 3. So I want to skip it. So that's why I'm using this next. And why I'm doing this I is equals to I plus 1, I will tell you. Just give me a minute. Let me explain it further. So if this condition holds, I will just skip it. Okay. Now if it is not true, so I'll take. So if it is not true, what I will do? So this is a if statement. If I write something here, so it will display. So it is like if this is not true, then print I. Okay. Now I is equals to I plus 1. Now why I am using this I is equals to I plus 1 is a thing I need to specify. So basically when I'm running this loop, so while I is less than or equals to 20, it is running when I is less than or equals to 20. I have initialized using 1 because I want to start it with 1. Now I want to start it with 1. I is 1. This condition is 2. So it will go inside it. Now it will check this condition. So if I is a multiple of 3 or not. So whether 1 is a multiple of 3 or not, it is not a multiple. So this nothing will be displayed here. So now the thing will come here. The loop will come here. Print I. So it will print 1. Okay. Then what we are doing, we are saying I is equals to I plus 1. So basically we are saying that we are giving the value now I to be, at first time I is 1 because I was 1. So now I is 2. So then when it goes here, now I is 2. It has changed now because I want to change it, because here there is nothing like by which we can change I. So here in the command only we have to change. Now I is 2. Now this 2 will go again here. Now this 2 is again less than equals to 20. Okay, fine. Then it will go here. So 2 is not a multiple of 3, so nothing will be there. Now again it will like print I. So it will be 2 for then. So because I is now 2. Now again I is I plus 1. So at the second time it is I to be, because it was 2 there. Now it became 3. Now again 3 will go here. Now 3 is again less than equals to 220. It is true. It will go here. Now 3 is a multiple of 3. So this condition is true. So now what is it giving? I to be I plus 1. Means it is giving I, the value of I to be I plus 1, that is 3. Okay. So basically the value of I is now 3. Sorry, not 3, 4, because I was 3 here. So now the value of I became 4. Now the value of I became 4. However, it is saying that next means just skip this value. So we have skipped 3, but we have given I to be 4 because I want to move forward. If I do not write I to be I plus 1 here, it will the I will be 3, then it will not be changing. That's why I have to write this I to be I plus 1. Then I became 4. Now again it will go, because if this condition is true, then we have skipped this. Now nothing will be displayed. Now I is 4. Now 4 here. 4 will go. 4 is again less than 20. Now it will go here. This condition is not satisfied, so nothing will be displayed. 4 here. So it will be print 4. So it is print 4. 4 will be printed. I to be I plus 1. Again the I become 5. Then again it will go, and same kind of thing will happen again and again till this I is less than or equals to 20. So up till 20 only it will print, otherwise then it will be like this condition will be false. So nothing will be printed. So it is fine. You are able to understand this thing, or there is any confusion or something like that? Okay. So the main thing about this while loop is we have to create something in the commands so that the loop will execute. Because if I'm not doing I is equals to I plus 1, the value of I will remain same. Whatever you do, it will remain same and it will execute it repeatedly. So that's why I need to just increase those value by using commands here. Okay. So let me now do this in R. Okay, question 6. So here what I'm doing, I'm going from 1 to 20 and I'm just skipping the numbers which are multiple of 3. So I'll run it. So it is giving me these. So it has given me 1, 2, it is skipped 3, 4, 5 given, then skipped 6 because it is a multiple of 3, 7, 8, skipped 9, then 10, 11, skipped 12, 13, 14, skipped 15, 16, 17, skipped 18, 19, then 20. After 20, nothing is displayed because we have given this condition that I should be less than or equals to 20. So is this question fine with everybody? Okay. So I'll move forward then. Now this is again a question like write a program to print numbers from 1 to 15 using while loop. Okay, I want to print a number from 1 to 15, but stop the loop when the number reaches a multiple of 7 greater than 7. So when the loop will reach to a number where the number is a multiple of 7, but it is not 7, it is greater than 7. So the loop will stop there. So here we have skipped the entry. Here in this question we have skipped it, so that's why we used next. But here I want to stop. So in place of next, what I will be using? There was another command apart from next. What was it? You people just tell me. So there were two commands. One was to skip the entries and another was to just stop the loop. So what was that to stop the loop? Break, yeah. So we'll use the break command for this. So before that, similarly, we'll define the sequence. So basically, because I want to do this using while loop, so I'll take while, not while. I'll just start from 1 first of all. So I will start from 1. Okay, while, and I want to print the numbers from 1 to 15. So I will give the condition that I is less than equals to 15. So I should be less than equals to 15. Okay, then I want to stop the loop. I want to print these numbers, but I want to stop the loop when the number reaches a multiple of 7, which is greater than 7. Okay, so I'll give if I is multiple of 7 means I modulo 7 is equals to 0. Okay, and it is a multiple of 7, but with that there is a condition that it should be greater than 7. So and I is greater than 7. So if these two conditions are satisfied, then I want to break. Okay, if this will satisfy, then only break will happen. Apart from this, if this is not satisfied, in that case, I want to print I. Okay, I want to print I, but I also want to increase the value of I. So first of all, I is 1, then I is less than 15. This is not satisfied, then I'll print I. but I want to increase the value of I, so that's why I'll give I to be I plus 1. Okay, so now what will happen? So when I is 1, so it will go here. This condition is not satisfied, so nothing will happen. Print I, so 1 will be printed. And I is I plus 1, so now I became 2. So 2 go here. So t is less than equals to 515, so that is fine. So what are you asking? If x is equals to 0. Which x you are talking about? So here you are saying that if here if this I was 0 or some entry is 0 or what? So if some entry is 0, then this condition is fulfilled, but this condition is not fulfilled. That number is not greater than 7. So if only this condition was there, then in that case the loop will break. Okay. But if so that's why I'm saying that write a program to print numbers from 1 to 15. If this single condition was there, this condition is not there, and if the 0 is also included here, then in that case the loop will stop at the first entry only. Okay. So is this any doubt here in this in this like loop? If there is no, then I will just execute it in R. So this is the question. So I'm just taking that the value should be less than 15. Okay. Till there only I want to go, and I will take, okay, I will take L less than equals to 50. There is no problem. Then in that case, I'll just run it. So it is giving me these numbers. So I want to skip the number which is greater than 7. Sorry, not skip the number. I want to just stop the loop when the number is greater than 7 and that number is divisible by 7. So that first that number is 14 only. So which is greater than 7 and divisible by 7. So now here it is giving me all the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 till 13. Then the loop stopped because at 14th place, so when I is 14, in that case I is greater than 7, like 14 is greater than 7 and it is divisible by 7. In that case the loop will break, so it is stopped here, then nothing is displayed, so it is fine. Then I'll move forward now. Okay, so now I want to do the repeat loop. Okay, in that repeat loop we do not have condition also, so we cannot give any condition there. Okay, so for the repeat loop, we cannot give condition. So I want to stop the loop, then I have to use the break command. Okay, because I want to stop the loop somewhere. Otherwise, the loop will be running, 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 and it will not be stopped because I'm not giving condition. So that condition is false and loop will stop. So here I cannot give that condition. So then in this case, I have to break. Uh, I have to give some condition. Then for that condition, the loop will break. So the loop will be stopped. So for this, so this is a question where I want to generate a random numbers. So I want to generate random numbers using repeat loop until a multiple of 4 which is greater than 20 appears. Okay, so until a number which is greater than 4 and it is a multiple of 20, not, it is a multiple of 20 and it is greater than, it is a multiple of 4 and it is greater than 20. If it a number, kind of this number is not appears, still the loop will be running, otherwise it will be stopped. Also, what I want to do, I want to skip the odd numbers. So in this previous one, I want to, in this previous one, if you are saying that how can you print 14 in the same question and stop the loop? So then I can just give the condition that, see, you want to print 14 also and you want to stop the loop. Okay, so let me just here, because it is, I'm giving this condition, then in that case I will not give this condition. I will give if I is greater than 14, I'll just give this condition. If I is greater than 14, then just break it. Then in that case, I'll get 14 here. but it will get breaked. 15 will not be there. So is it fine? And also in place of this also, what you can do if you want to do the same thing, you just skip the whole thing. Okay, just skip this break thing and just write I less than 15 year. Then also the same output will be there, because I want to just display it till 14. Is it fine? Okay. Yeah. Okay, so then I'll I was telling about this question. So here what I want to do, I want to generate a random numbers using repeat loop until a multiple of 4 which is greater than 20 appears. So multiple of 4 greater than 20 is nothing but 24. So this is a number 24 which is multiple of 4 but it is greater than 20. Okay, so basically I want to, so this is basically I know, that's why I'm saying, but I will write in the loop this condition only. I will not write 24 there because this condition may be something else also, that's why. Also I want to skip the odd numbers. Okay, so for that let me write. So first of all I want to use the repeat loop, so I'll use repeat here and I want to write the command. So here if, so then also I want to initialize it for sure, I had to be 1. Okay, now if the number is multiple of 4 means if this is a multiple of 4, this is 0. Okay, and it is greater than 20, then in that case I want to break. Okay, now apart from this, what I want to do, I want to skip the odd numbers. Okay, so if I modulo 2 is equals to 1, what does it mean? That it is so that is a not an even number. So if I is 1, then in that case, yeah, it is 1. So yeah, if I modulo 2 is 1, I modulo 2 is equals to 1 means the number is odd. So if the number is odd, then I want to skip it. So what I will do? I want to do I is equals to I is equals to I plus 1. Okay, and then I want to skip it. So for skip, I will use next. Okay, so if this condition true, then this will hold. Okay, and then I want to repeat it, and then I'll done print. So I have to print it here only, print I actually. So first of all, I want to print I actually. So if that number is, oh no, I do not want to print it. Actually, I want to was right. Yeah. So I have to skip it. So I have skipped it now. Then I want to print I. I want to skip that. So I want to, now I want to print I. And I is equals to I plus 1. After that, here it will be this. So basically what is happening here? So first of all, I want to repeat, I have assigned the value I to be 1. Okay. then in that case, if I modulo 4 is equals to 0, means if that number is multiple of 4 and the number is greater than 20, then in that case I want to break it. Okay, just I want to stop it. And also I want to skip the odd number. So that's why if I modulo 2 is equals to 1, means that number is odd, then in that case, first of all, I want to uh, uh, give the value I to be the next value 2. So for example, I is 1 first of all. Then in that case, if this condition is true, then in that case also I want to increase the number which I holds, because I want to make the loop to be like continuing till this value, this is not breaking. So that's why I'm taking I to be I plus 1 and next. Basically, I'm skipping this value. If this condition is also not true, then in that case, I will be printed. Okay, and I is equals to I plus 1 will be there. Okay, so is it fine? I'll just execute it in R. So basically we have so till so it like 24 is a number which is greater than 20 and which is a multiple of 4. So it will be like executing till 23 only, because this number is greater than 20 and this is this. So at this the loop will break. So till 23 the loop will be executing, and till 23 the odd numbers are skipped. So basically it will be like 2, then it will be like 4. This kind of thing is happening. So let me show that to you in R. So if I do that, so till 22 only it is like printing, because 23 is again odd number, so we skipped it. And for 24 this condition is true, that's why. So for 24 this break condition is true, that's why the loop is stopped. So that's why this is happening. So is it fine now? Is this question fine? Like there is any doubt in this question? So basically whatever the question is asking, just we are doing that. Is it fine? Okay. So now, so these questions are a little easy. So you people just tell me, okay? Write a program to generate a sequence using sequence command of numbers from 1 to 10 in descending order. So just tell me the command for this. So for the A part, just tell me the command. This is a kind of like this. These questions are a little easy. Just tell me the command for this question. First one, numbers from 1 to 10 in descending order. Descending order, you people know na descending order means? Yeah, so you should also use the SEQ na. SEQ from is equals to 10 to is equals to 1. So if you will write it, it will display like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Second one, similarly, second one, just tell me the second one. Yeah, from 1 to 10. Write the command the way you write in R. Just don't write it like this, because then you will be like making mistakes something there. So just write the commands like you write in R, okay? So B to B sequence we are taking, okay, from is equals to 1, comma 2 is equals to 10. So it will give like 1, 2, 3, yeah, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now tell me about the next one. So sequence of numbers starting from 100 and decreasing by 10 until you reach 50. So I want to write, I want to generate a sequence of numbers starting from 100, okay, till 50 I want to write. And they should be like that, the numbers are decreasing by 10. No, from 210, no, because until you reach 50 and decreasing by 10. So basically, you are decreasing the number by 10 and you want to reach 50. Okay. So just think about it and just tell me. Think about this command. I want that you people just answer about this. So what should we write for this? Just just read the question carefully and just try to answer it. Okay, just think about it that when you are writing from 100 to 50 by 10, from 100 to 50, not 60, 50 by 10. When you are writing by 10, that means it is increasing the quantity. So you do not have to increase it, it will not run. Basically, you have to do by minus 10 actually. Because you are what you are doing, you are decreasing it by 10. So in order to decrease it, you have to take the value in the by to be negative. Okay, because you are taking first number to be a greater, second to be a smaller number. So you are going too small, from greater to smaller number. So in that case, you have to decrease it. So in order to decrease it, you have to take the number to be negative, the number in by to be negative. Okay. So that was the main concern about this question actually. So you will take sequence from 100 and you want to go to 50 and you will take by to be minus 10. Otherwise this command will not run. Okay, so let me show this in R. So this is like, this is a little easy. So it is like, it is giving you in descending order. This command is giving you in ascending order. However, this command will give me, again it is in descending order, 10, 90, 80, 70, 60, 50. That's why I have to take this to be minus 10. If this is minus 10, this is not minus 10, then in that case the error will be there and nothing will be displayed. Because if you are like taking from to be 100 to be 50 and you are adding a number to 10 to 100, then it is 110, so it is greater than 50. So how you will be able to come to 50? That's why you have to take to be it to be minus 10. Okay. Okay, so just tell me about the other ones. For even numbers from 2 to 50, if you want to do even numbers from 2 to 50. Tell me if you want to print even numbers from 2 to 50. So just think about it that I want to print even numbers and I'm starting from 2. So 2 is basically a even number. Now at 2 differences, the number will be even only. Like after 2, 4 will be even, 6 will be even, 8 will be even. So the difference is basically 2 between them. So just use this logic and just answer my this fourth and fifth question, D and E part. Yeah, from 2 to 50 by 2. Yeah, it's true. It's fine. Now, what about the E part? So for D part, it is sequence from 2 to 50 by is equals to 2. This is fine, correct? Now for the E part, you want to print or you want to generate a sequence of odd numbers from 1 to 25. Again, the same logic will go. Just write it in the chat box. From 1 to 25 by 2. Yeah, correct. So it is also correct. Sequence. Now we are starting from 1. Yeah, correct. To 25 by 2. Yeah. Now what about this last part? So I've given an example of this, or when I was discussing this sequence command or a sequence function, then in that case I have given an example. So just give me the code for this. So if I want to generate a sequence of 12 equally spaced points between -5 and 5. I want 12 equally spaced points between -5 and 5. For that, I have given you a kind of command by which we can you do this thing. 12. If I want to find out the equally spaced points, then what I should use? Just give me the command for this. From -5 to 5, length dot out is equals to 12. Yeah. So we'll use that only. So this is correct. So for the F part, we'll use sequence from -5 to 5, length dot out is 12. Basically, it will give me 12 equally spaced points. So this is fine. Okay. Now I have some questions more. So I'm just thinking that I'll just discuss some of them. Okay. Other thing I will be maybe discussing in the next session or next extra class. Okay. So I will like discuss this question. I may discuss this question. This is a little easy for you. Okay. So I want to create a function. Okay. I want to create a function. So this is like x cube minus 2x by x plus 1. I want to create that function. I want to evaluate that function at 2 and at 5 in R. Okay. But first of all, I want to create a function. So for a part, if I want to create a function, then how I will be creating it. So for the a part, if I see, so for example, I'm taking y1 to be like function. So since we have a single variable, so we'll take function of x. Okay. Then I'll specify the expression. Okay. So what is the expression here? X to the power 3 minus 2 into x. And I want to divide this whole quantity by x plus 1. So we have specified it. Now, if I want to evaluate it at point 2, so then I will give y underscore 1 at point 2. So it will give me the value of this function at x is equals to 2. Okay. So let me show it to you in R. So if I'm writing this function y1, okay. So this if I execute it, okay, and if I write y underscore 1 2 here, so it will give me the value at point 2 of this function. Okay. Now I want you to write. So this is a little easy one. This was a little like you will not be able to write it in the chat box. That's why I have written it. You just write it for the second part. You people write it in the chat box for the second part that what I should write for the this one. Okay, other things just give me this expression. What expression you will give there? Okay, in what way? Just write in the chat box for the B part. Yeah, this is fine. So you have created a function. So y2 is a function now. Now, if you want to evaluate that function at point 5, then what you will be writing? Y2 at 5. Yeah, it is correct. So if I want to write, so this question, this explanation about this y1. Yeah, it is correct. You are also correct. Okay, so let me explain it again. So basically what we are doing here, we are creating a function. So this is a function of x, it is a function of single variable, and I want to create this function, and I want to evaluate it at point 2 or at some other point if you want to. Okay, so I'm creating a function y1, so it is a function of x. This is basically the syntax about a function. Then we are taking this curly bracket, and in the curly bracket we are writing this expression. So this expression is nothing but x cube minus 2x. So this is x cube minus 2x, and we want to divide it by x plus 1. So we are dividing by x plus 1. Now what we have now in R, we have y1 as a function of x. Okay, so y1 now, this is y1 now in R. And if I want to evaluate this y1 at point 2, so I'll just write y1 2. So this is y underscore 1. So this is just a variable name or a function name, nothing more. And at the argument or at the parenthesis, I'm writing 2. So that implies that it is giving R the direction that just evaluate this function at point 2. So it will give me the output. Similarly, we can do the for the second one. So many people have answered it. Second question. So I'll just write it here. So yes, if I do it to be y2, then I'll give it as a function of x. At the argument, I'll write x square plus 3x plus 2. So it is x to the power 2 plus 3x plus 2. Okay, then I'll write y2 at 0.5 in order to evaluate it at 0.5. So I hope this is clear. So I'll take one more question of function only. Okay. So it is for the sequence only. So I'll take one question for function. Okay, so it is a question that write a function that takes a vector of numbers and returns only the positive numbers. So a function I want to create, so the function for that function, so here in this question here, this was only a function of, so this was function of x. Okay, here I'm taking x to be a, like it can be a scalar. So for 2, for 3, for 4, 5, so I can give the values, it will give me the output. But if I want to create a function of a vector, okay, now what that function should do, so if I'm giving a vector to that function, so it should return me the positive numbers only. So only the positive number it should return me, not other than positive numbers. So basically what this function should do, basically, if it will analyze a vector. So it will go to each element of the vector, okay, and it will analyze that whether that element is positive or not. Okay, then if that element is positive, it will give that element. If it is not positive, it will not give that element. Okay, now for that, how I should write it actually. So if it is a function, so if I'm giving, for example, x to be an vector, some vector like -2, -3, 5, 6, -7, any vector you want to give. So it is not necessary to define it here only. You can define, for example, I'm not defining it here. This is not necessary. Okay, this is not necessary. So first of all, I just want to create a function. So for that, I will create a function positive. Only I will name that function to be positive, and I'm creating this function. So this is a function of x. So first of all, I'll define a vector, okay, because I want to create a function of a vector. So I'll define a vector positive values. Okay, I want to give it a vector because I want to return those a vector. I want to return a vector which contains only the positive values. Now for that, I will create a empty vector. Okay, now for so first of all, like I will give create a function actually. So function of x, I have given that vector to this function. Now I will create that empty vector. Okay, that is we are giving it as positive value. So here in this vector we will store all the positive values. So here first of all it is empty. Okay, then for now this is a vector. Basically I'm inputting a vector. Now this is a vector, so there are some values in that vector. Okay, so if I want to run over those vectors. So for I in X. So basically, whatever the vector I will give, so it is not specified it yet. If we will specify, it will run for any vector you whatever X you will give. So basically, when I in X, so for any vector when I in X means, so I in X means I for first I will take the value of the first entry of that vector. So if I is in X, so first we will check that whether that entry is positive or not. So if I is greater than 0, okay, then what we will do, we'll take that value in this vector. We'll just do that entry here in this vector. So what we'll do, positive values, which this vector is, and we'll give this value to this I to positive values are already there. Okay, this is an empty vector. Okay, positive values, comma, I will be there. And I'm writing C because here I'm constructing again a vector. I'll explain it in more detail. Okay, first of all, let me complete it. So this is positive. So I've created a vector. Okay. Okay, so here it is closed. Okay, positive values. Then the loop is closed here. The function is already open here. So then it will return. So this I want that the function will return this vector, positive values. Okay. Now we'll close it. So basically what is happening, for example, let me take some particular vector. So this is a function of X, first of all, positive. This is a function of X. So in the argument, I would give a vector. So let X to be some C 2, 3, 4. Okay, then I want to, so I have this function positive. So in the argument, I want to give some particular vector. So I am giving positive. Do not take this x because here you may be like, you may be confused that this x should match here. So this is not necessary. So this you are giving a vector, you are making a vector, and you are passing that vector in this function positive y. So wherever there is x, so it will already replaced. So here it will be like, here it will be that vector. Now here this vector is 2, 3, 4. Now this vector is 2, 3, 4. Now 2, 3, 4. Okay, now then inside it is going like positive values to be an empty vector. Okay, it is an empty vector. Now for I in X, means I in 2. So I in 2, 3, 4. So first of all, it will take value 2. So I in, so I will be 2 there, then it will go here. So I'm taking it to be negative because I want to print the positive one. Okay, so 2 is greater than 0. So 2 is greater than 0. So this condition is satisfied. So then in that case, what is happening? Positive values. So whatever the empty vector is, I am giving it a value C. Positive values means it is an empty vector. Nothing will be there, comma I. I, what was I? 2. So it is 2. So now the positive values became 2. So now the positive values, there is 2 something. So positive at the first time, the positive. So here, let me write. So at the first time, so positive values. So in this, so this will be now a vector where it is only 1. Okay, so there is only one, not 1, 2, because the x was 2. So 2. Okay, now the positive, now again, what is happening? Return the positive value. So now again, now if I is greater, now for I in x, so it will go to the second entry, -3. So it will go towards -3. Now for -3, is -3 greater than 0? No. So nothing will be displayed. Return positive values. Again, we are returning the positive values. So it is 2 because nothing has been displayed. So it is again 2 at the second time also. So at the second time, the positive values is 2 again because the second number was negative. So there nothing was displayed. Now at the third time, when I is in x means I is 4 now. Now 4 is greater than 0. So positive values C, positive values I. Now what is happening? So positive values were already 2. So at the third time, now positive values was already 2. Positive value was 2. Now what is happening? That it was already 2. Okay. Now it is saying that it is already 2, so it is 2 here, comma I means at the third time 4 was there, so 4 will be there. So again it is like 2 comma 4. So it will give me the output 2 comma 4 for this for this y. If I change the vector, the output will be changed. So basically if I change the vector, I'll just write positive some another vector y1 or y2 or something else. It will give me the output accordingly. So this is minus 3. So is it fine? Let me just show you in R, because here I've taken a longer vector. So basically I'm giving the same function and I'm passing this vector. So this is not necessary that we should define it here only. We may define it here also. Okay. Or I may define it using some another name also, y, and I can just pass this y here. There is no problem if I write it. So the main thing is if I'm writing it as a function of x, so wherever I'm using x here, I should write x there. Okay, here I can take some another variable name and I can pass that variable, or I can pass that vector in that function. So here for wherever x is there, so y will be there. No problem in that. So if I do this, so it is giving me 3, 9, 10, 3. So these were the only 3, 9, 10, 3 were the positive numbers. Yeah. So it has given me the positive numbers. Okay. Is there any doubt in this question? So this is kind of way by which we can use this here. What we have used, we have created a function, and in that function we have used loop also. For loop we have used. So two ways we have just combined the function and the loop also. So these questions I have just in I'm just like discussing, because I just want to let you know about these things, that how we can combine all these things. In your assignment, you maybe find the questions which are a little easy, they're not that difficult. So you may be able to do that. And if there are some doubts or something like that, then I will be discussing about those also. Because the basic things, the basic functions and basic things are already done in the class only. So if you are talking about the loops and all these things, the logic is important, that how you are basically doing the things. Because if you do not have the inbuilt function, then you maybe not be able to do these things. So in that case, you should know that how you should use the command, or how you can use the loops and all these things. So is it fine? Is it fine? Is this question fine? Okay. So if this is fine, then I will end the class now, because there is like no time. Other questions I will be discussing at the last, when we will be having an extra session. So we may held an extra session after the at the time of the ending of the course. At that time, I may be discussing all other questions regarding this. So is there any doubt? If someone have any doubt, then you may like ask. I'll just discuss the doubts now. And so I'll take the doubts. And also, yeah, recording of this session will be there in the YouTube by tomorrow. And the R script and PPT will be there in the Google Drive. And the deadline for the assignment is 3rd September. And yeah, I can explain you the next command. Okay, I'll explain it. Okay, so the next command basically, it skips the value. So wherever I've used it, I will be just taking that. So yeah, here. So if I want to skip something, so let me take a different example actually, where I'm only using the next command. Okay. So for example, okay, if I want to use a next command, means for example, if I have a vector, okay, x is a vector, c1, 2, 3, 4, and I want to skip number 3. I want to skip this number. When I want to print a vector, or I can say I want to print values. For example, in this vector, I want to print the values, but I want to skip this 3. Okay, then what I'll do, I'll take for loop. Let me take, so for I in X. Okay. I in X means I'm taking I to be 1, I to be 2, I to be 3, I to be 4. I'm taking I in X means it will take the values from the vector. Now, what I'll do, I want to print I. Okay, I want to print I. So let me write it like if I is equals to 3. So when this number appears, so if the value I is equals to 3, then I want to skip it. So in order to skip it, I should write next here, next. Okay, otherwise I want to print I. So what it will do for I next, so I will become 1, here it will go. So I is 1 here, so this condition is false, so nothing will be displayed, print I, so I will be 1 here. Then I will go towards 2, so 2, so here it will go in this condition, I is equals to 2, no it is, so I is not 3, I is 2 here, so it will not display it, so it is print I, so it will print 2. Then I will be 3. So when I will be 3, so this condition is true. So this condition is true. It is saying next means you want to skip this value. So it will skip it. Okay. Then again it will go there. So when I in 4, so when I in 4, so I not I in 4, when I is 4, so it will go here. So if I is equals to 3, so 4 is not equals to 3. So this condition is false. Then it will print I. So 4. So 1, 2, 4 will be printed. So is it fine? So the need for this, or we can say the basic concept about this next command is that if you want to skip a value. Okay. Anybody else? If anyone have any doubt, then you may ask. Otherwise, I will be ending this session. Okay, so there are no doubts, and I will be ending this session. I hope things are like I don't know whether the things are totally clear to you. If they are not clear to you, then just see these commands or see this loop if you want to have a better understanding about the things. And if you just want to like have a very overview kind of thing, then you may just see the like basic loops and all those things, and also try to solve the assignments, of course. So those are very important things. Okay. So we'll ending this session. Thank you everybody to join. So we'll be meeting up in like now we'll meeting up on next Monday. So we'll be continuing then. Okay, so thank you everyone for joining the class.